Hey, Jason.
Hey, Hans.
Jason?
Hey, man.
Hey, man, what's up? What's up with the flowers?
Chrysanthemums. Chrysanthemums. Pretty, right?
Chrysanthemums. That's beautiful. Why is that?
Well, you know what's funny? The other day I was just thinking, most guys get their first bouquet of flowers at their funeral. How crazy is that?
Are you serious? That's pretty morbid, man.
Well, when's the last time you got flowers?
Is that? Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't think I ever want to get flowers then.
I'll send you flowers, man. I think you deserve flowers.
Alright. Hey, but by the way, we got Andi Munsie on the show, the creator of Alexa Skills, Where's My Period, Why Am I Single, so many others.
Wow,
Want to talk to her?
You bet I want to talk. You have her on the show? You got her to come on the show? All the way from Vietnam?
Yeah, all the way from Vietnam. It took some effort, but numbers in COVID are good. Travel restrictions are gone, so we have a virtual meeting right now.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so happy to have you here. I mean, we've talked to your work a lot, but we've never really had a chance to talk to you.
Yeah, today's the day. Today's the day.
Today is the day. So tell us about yourself. How did you get it? How did you end up making all these skills, and what's the story?
Okay, well, let's go all the way back to when it was 2013 and I was 32, and I went on a 1.5 year long honeymoon with my husband up to the top of the Philippines. Have you ever been to the Philippines?
No, they won't let me in.
They won't let Hans in, and they probably won't let me out. So I don't think we'll ever go to the Philippines.
So anyway, so I was right at the top in a tiny fishing village called Pagugput. So imagine tropical island water, the palm trees, and I was learning to surf every day, and my life took a real slow turn, and I got to really relax, and I left the 9 to 5, the corporate cube, my advertising job, the external world behind, and I was getting into my own rhythm, leaving that, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 cycle, out of the picture. So I was starting to go within. And one of the first books that I read was by Dr. Leonard Shlain, Sex, Time, Power. And this book just blew my mind. And at 32 years of age, as a woman, I learned through his research that a woman's menstrual cycle was connected to the moon. And this information blew my mind because I had been reading so many spiritual books since I was 24. I'd live abroad. I connected with many women, and not once did I have a conversation about our menstrual cycles. And I studied astrology as well, just the basics. Never once a conversation about the menstrual cycle. So this information just blew my mind. It hit me on the inside. And I was like, if I'm 32 learning this information, I need to share it with the rest of the world. So what happened was, as my journey continued, I attracted many more books into my life and got deeper into the cycle energies. Now, I'm going to use cycle energies a lot, but for your masculine logical brain, it's the
Big brain. Booga booga.
the hormone changes that a woman goes through. So it's the hormones. When I say energy, think hormones.
Yeah, I'm familiar with those. But
I started learning that about the energy shifts from the menstrual to the follicular to the ovulation to the luteal. So, okay, guys, imagine you've got a sexy girl at the strip club. When do you think she gets the most tips according to her menstrual cycle?
Okay, Hans would never go to a strip club, first of all. It's very demeaning to women. Hans is a champion of women's rights. He would never find himself in a strip club. I, on the other hand, have spent a few days here and there in strip clubs, so maybe I can answer that question.
Thank you. Go for it.
What was the question again?
It's been studied, this is a piece of research. So would you know when she's like looking her best, when she's getting the most tips? you know, when she's feeling so.
When she's most fertile.
When she's most fertile.
Yeah, so that's her ovulation phase. Yeah, so like compared to if they studied like when the women were in their PMS phase and they were quite, you know, angry and agitated and things like that. Anyway, so I was going through the whole cycle, going deeper into that, learning about the moon energy. So the moon is giving off different brain chemicals into our bodies. So, you know, the new moon is the acetylcholine, waxing moon serotonin, full moon dopamine, and waning moon norepinephrine. So do you have an experience with a woman around the full moon? Maybe emotions were high, or maybe it was sexy fun time for you. So
like, well, my girlfriend's very much also studying these things and very aware of it, and I was thinking, yeah, sure, whatever.
Wait a second, Hans. I didn't know you had a girlfriend. You didn't have a girlfriend when we taped the episode. So is it direct correlation between doing the Why Am I Single skill and you having a girlfriend? Is this a success story?
Yeah. I use the Alexa skill, magic. It's as simple as that. It's brilliant. I can recommend anyone use it.
Beautiful. And so as I got deeper into these energies, I also started to observe that a woman wants to master her inner world. It's really all about her feelings, and her milestones in life are all about her relationships. So if you talk to a woman, it's all about, you know, her first boyfriend, her first breakup. Is this my soulmate? It's really relationship based. And the masculine, and this goes to the back part of our brain. And of course, we have a balance of masculine and feminine, but let's just stick to the masculine and feminine just for this conversation. The masculine wants to conquer the outer world. They want to build things. They want to provide resources for their family. So let's go back to the female. So I was into really tapping into this feminine energy. And if we fast forward to 2017, I was living in Sri Lanka, again, palm trees, island waters, tuk-tuks, rice and curry every day. Have you guys been to Sri Lanka at all?
I've only been to Thailand. Can we leave it at that? Before we do this whole thing, have you been? No, Thailand.
Anyway, so I wanted to find a way where I could give this information to women around the world. And I didn't want it to be a book, and I didn't want it to be a video. I wanted to cut through the noise. So I was actually developing an intuitive card game for 4 women face to face to play their cycle energies through the card game and really interact, really discuss, really participate and learn interactively their cycle. Because I find that the book and the video is sometimes a one-way kind of learning, and I wanted to find the next way of learning. And, you know, as kids, kids learn through play, and that's what I wanted to create for adult women, you know, to learn through play. And this game goes through periods and the moon and breakups, and you go on dates, and at the end you have a wedding, you find your true love and you have a wedding. And that's another Alexa skill, start my wedding ceremony, but we'll park that there at the side. Anyway, so 2017 in Sri Lanka, watching YouTube videos, and Gary Vee is on there, who I absolutely love, have got so much inspiration from him. And he starts saying that Alexa is going to be the next best thing. And there is Alexa. I thought I turned her off, but she's going to probably come into the conversation. And so I really connected with what Gary Vee was saying with his, that it was going to be the future. I could see that. And what I also liked was that, I got to really try and get her off. Please go away. Please.
Go away.
Was that I like that feminine part of Alexa, that, that talking and the listening, that's really feminine qualities. And then I really connected it to all the sci-fi movies that I've watched, in particular the movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson, and the voice assistants were a companion. And, that's in the sci-fi movies, and now it's going to become a reality very soon. And I saw that. And so with that, I had the game structure. So I was building my game. My algorithm is the menstrual cycle and the moon cycle. So I was able to take that and then put it into a voice experience. But I was always thinking about that feminine side, the talking, the listening, and making sure that she was going to become a companion. I wanted her to be an intuitive girlfriend to women all around their world in their bedrooms. So
That's brilliant. And how did you then in the design process, because you sort of have, the structure already based on just the content really, but did you make lots of women part of that design process to see how they would interact with it at a very early stage, or how'd you do that?
the design process always has to go back to your why. Why are you doing it, really? Do you have the passion for it? Is there a big reason for your why? Because I'm not about the how. I don't develop my skills. I have a team in Sri Lanka that develops all my skills. I don't even know if they can do it. It's the why part. And then from there, having that companion as the top of the design process, and the user experience. So from those two things, the conversation has to flow naturally or as best that you can. So that's what I'm always thinking in the design process.
You're saying that you don't touch the development of the skill. How do you communicate with the developers?
They're in Colombo. They were amazing. They were like a gift from heaven, really, because part of my game that I developed, we used to have the scoring on a piece of paper, and I used to play test the game on my coffee table in my house in Sri Lanka with girls all around the world. And we saw them with a pen and paper writing their scoring system down. And we were just like, this is not practical. And so came up with the idea that the scoring should be an app. So the scoring is an app, and it's so super cool. And I just knew what I wanted, how it all had to work. I did the wireframes. I don't even know. I just knew how to do it. But the process was, it took 6 months to a year to find an app developer to do it. We were getting quotes for $50,000, and I'm just going, no way. Like, I know exactly what it is. It's very, very simple. It's a calculator with pretty pictures. That was all that it was. And then we went to India because we had to do a visa run from Sri Lanka, and we went into an app company. They're gone 10,000 US, and we're just going nuts. Not that much, not that much. And we waited and waited, and by chance, a business coach in Sri Lanka that we'd met, he had met up with this app team in Colombo. They came down to Gaul, and we went through this period thing. They're all guys. We went through this period thing, but they were so logical. It wasn't about the subject. They got it straight away. It goes dun 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 dun. It's very logical. They got it, and from there we said, we want an Alexa skill. Can you do it? They had to learn a whole new coding for that, and they've been doing our skills ever since. It's been amazing. And we just connect on WhatsApp. I just say, I need this done. Boom, they do it.
That's brilliant. I'm gonna need their email.
What about discovery and monetization on this? I mean, not necessarily monetization, but discovery. How do you get people to talk to it? How do you get users, women around the world, to use the app, whether it's the wedding or it's a period app? How do you get them to use it?
From my experience, it's not coming through the Amazon App Store. It is not coming there. So I've come up with a brilliant way for my marketing, and that's by telling real women's stories. By doing the Alexa, where is my period 28-day challenge. And that has been the most amazing thing.
I don't know that.
And she's still here. I just cannot get rid of her. I had this skill, I think, in 2018, and it actually started as Why Am I Single? And from my experience, this has been a whole creative process. It's such a long-term game. And when you got your why that's so you're so passionate about, if you can keep focusing on it and building upon it, it just grows and evolves, so much. So Yeah, so it was only last year that I actually started using my skill every day, whereas my period. And I used it every day for 3 months. And it was the first time. And I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. I was manifesting things in my life through the forecast every day. And I was going deeper into what was happening in my body. And I was like, wow, if I'm having these epiphanies, imagine what other women can have. So my inspiration was from Tony Robbins, the Personal Power 30 Days Challenge. Have you heard of it?
Mhm.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And it's like going to the gym. You actually can't use my forecast, just get a forecast like once and enable it and get a forecast once and that's it. It just doesn't work. It's like a dedicated commitment to 28 days. And so it's the challenge that has helped my discoverability. That's where other women are coming in because the women doing the challenge are posting on social media. And I'm posting their real stories, and then other women see them, listen to their stories, and go, "Oh, what's happening here? Oh, okay, Alexa is the guide here, or is the companion." And so that is how it's going to grow and evolve from that. So I built my marketing into the experience. So yeah, that's my experience. Do you have any ideas on discoverability yourself?
I think it's everybody's challenge trying to do these things, and I think you tap it, like connecting it to the like sharing the stories on the social and sort of feeding off the engagement that you have, and then sort of building a snowball there is the way to go. But I think what you're saying is like through Amazon itself, the App Store, there's not much traffic there. I think that makes a ton of sense. It's really word of mouth. And then social makes a ton of sense. It's like
Amazon says that you need to have good reviews, or at least a number or quantity of reviews. So a lot of people say try and get as many people as you can, your friends, family, whoever's enabled it, to give it a review, to give it a score. So at least it'll make it into the store, to the front page, where people will see it, because no one can find anything on the App Store, on the Google, the Alexa, the Amazon Play Store. So maybe by getting a lot of reviews, you can boost visibility for the skill. That's the only way I can think of. I still can't find my skills.
Do you know what the most disappointing thing with that is I have these women. I've done the challenge now. I just finished my season 3. And these women, I swear, are just having the most amazing epiphanies through the challenge, and Alexa's been there as a guide. And at the end, I asked them, can you give me a review on the Amazon App Store? And do you know what it says? It says you have not purchased $50, so you're not eligible to make a comment. So I have these amazing testimonials ready to go, but they cannot post on there. It's really disappointing.
That's terrible. I mean, there's so many flaws still in that system, but in general, like your approach of making the voice assistant part of a bigger challenge that takes place offline, using the social media as a channel around that. I mean, that's the brand. That's what you're doing, rather than I'm making the killer app and everybody in the App Store is gonna find it. Like it is the big problem to solve, but I think the way you're doing it, you don't necessarily even need to get it solved, because you just have your own movement that you're developing around that and people that are supporting it. So in your case, I would probably recommend just doubling down on what you're doing there, rather than trying to hack the App Store and trying to focus on that, because I have not heard anyone, and I'm not too much of an expert on how these things get discovered. Jason probably knows a little bit more about it, but I'm not familiar with anyone that has been able to really, go big through the voice App Store space.
You got to also think what type of skills are out there. So you got your utility skills and you've got your companion. And now look at the female. What female really is going to be talking to her girlfriends like about, it got my coffee pot to turn on? I don't know. I just like, females are more about feelings and how something made them feel. So they're going to be more sharing things that are more in line with that. So you've got to really make an experience worth talking about as well. That people are actually going to share.
Andy, what's next for this skill? Are you going to build out the skill? Are you going to build another skill? Is this going to be maybe the divorce one next? Because we have the why am I single? Let's get married. Maybe midlife crisis. Why do I hate my husband so much? And then maybe at the end, let's divorce him. What's next?
No, where it's my period is my baby. I'm just about to put changes in for where it's my period because, we get to see the girls so intimately involved with Alexa for 28 days. What other skill out there has video footage of a girl interacting with their skill every day for 28 days? And so, I've got to really see the user experience. And do I have to press something here? Okay. And, also, and really keep reflecting on it and refining it. So I'm just about to submit changes, and we want to go into, before it was more of a conversation, but I feel that the conversation and drawing it out is too boring. So I want to put some gamification in. So I don't know if you're familiar with, in the game world, they do loot boxes, and that's when the user finds surprises. And so I want to bring in the surprise element, the serendipity element for females, and that's how I want to build retention so they get excited to come back every day and use the skill. So after they get the general forecast, which is the most important for me, there's going to be the randomization of pull a card, which is all to do about their menstrual and moon cycle. There's going to be food forecasts, so how to eat right according to where you are in your cycle. There's going to be mini self-love challenges. There's going to be date forecasts, like you experienced, like when it's a good time to go on a date according to your cycle energies or not. And also a star compatibility. So, an Aries and a Leo going together. So that's going to be all randomized. And I just want to bring in that serendipity and the fun back into my skills. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And another thing is, this is a real big distinction that we've just realized, is that Alexa is actually the primary coach throughout the whole challenge. So I'm actually the assistant coach. So why I say that is Alexa is there every day, 24/7 with the client during the challenge. And she's actually teaching them the cycle energy. She's always bringing up the phase that you're in, what the moon's doing, what the energies are telling you. And I'm only there before the challenge, in the middle of the challenge, and after the challenge, catching up with the girl and and motivating her and supporting her. So what's next is when a girl has the most amazing experience of this and it transforms her life, they want to go on and share it with other girls in their community. So I've got a coaching course for that girl to become a cycle coach just like me. So I'm currently talking to a brand in India, a menstrual hygiene company, and they're looking at using this, the 28-day challenge, to tell real women's real stories in their marketing. So that is where it's headed next. So it's very exciting.
Coming back to the App Store and discovery thing, if somebody that finds it through the App Store, you're like, oh, what is this? You need the entire story behind it and the context. And if you come in through the socials and through the ecosystem that you're building, then the Alexa skill makes a ton of sense. It's a wonderful experience, and you immediately understand the value. If you just go in cold, I can see people are like, what is this? What do I care? We goofed around with it a little bit, but I think it's very impressive how you've just doing your own thing and found Alexa as the perfect coach and interface to support and accelerate and grow what you're doing. So it's a very cool thing.
It really has been an evolution process. So in season 1, it was a documentary. Now, this one-word documentary changed the whole scope of it because it was on YouTube. I had a documentary mentality, which means when the girls gave me the footage, I was looking for factual information. But I had to start, and that's where I started, and I'm proud of what I did, but I see where the evolution took me. So then season 2 came along, and it's just like, holy shit, it's not a documentary. We got to get them on social media, posting their reflection videos of their forecast and what it meant to them on social media. So we did that, and that was brilliant. But still, I was half in documentary, and then I was half in trying to be a teacher. So these words really changed the whole scope of it. So I wanted to teach women the phases. But you know what? Only the girls doing the challenge know the phases. No friggin' women out there, I'm sorry, knows what their follicular phase is, what their luteal phase is. Some may know what their ovulation phase is, but no one knows that. And no one really concentrates on the waxing moon or the waning moon. And I'm trying to teach that. And then I was using Alexa as the intuitive girlfriend, and she was the hero of the story. And this diminished the girls doing the challenge. It put them on a lower status. Alexa was up here, and then the girls were down here. So season 3, I finally got it right. I really learned about how to tell a good story, and the hero of the story is the girl. Alexa is the guide, and now I just focus on the personal stories, the problems that's coming out of that video, and it's in short bite-sized pieces, because I'm taking on the TikTok format where people just really can only consume little bits of content, and they just scroll. So I want mine just one problem in a video, and I'm framing it, and it's just this refinement has just been so important. So now I can just season 4 is just going to be better, with the refinements of the app that's coming in, and it's on its way now. But you have to start. You really have to start, and it's an evolution. So remember that to the developers, the designers out there, I started with Why Am I Single? That's where I started, and now I'm at Where Is My Period, and now it's a 28-day challenge, and it's now we're on our way.
What did your husband think of you starting a skill called Why Am I Single?
You really need a team. If you want to do anything in the world, you really need a team. You need a visionary, and you need an integrator. So my husband is actually the true visionary. He's the truest entrepreneur. I'm the integrator, and we've just come together and we work so well. So he can come up with an idea, and then I think about it, and then I ground it, and then I make it happen. And it all comes together from me. We just work. We've just meant to be here to do this. It's just been an incredible journey.
How do women reach out to you? How do people find you if they want to participate or help you or work on your skill with you?
Yeah.
How do they reach you?
So if there's any women out there who would love to do the challenge with me, please get in touch. It's super fun, and it's a super way to rediscover your cycle energies and have the amazing epiphanies like the other women are having, because you're just starting to really pay attention to what's going on in your body, in your emotions, and through your cycle. So get in touch. I'm on Facebook, Andi Munsie, ANDI with an I, and also of course on LinkedIn. So reach out.
I feel because I very much enjoyed this conversation. I really did, and I think the main takeaway for me is that you can use voice skills as a part of your community rather than trying to build a community around your voice skill. I think this is where you see true value. It makes a ton of sense to use this application if you're part of that community. But it'd be very tricky to just deploy this as a voice skill and then hope to build a community around it.
Okay. Well, Hans, it was good seeing you, man. I'll see you next time on the show.
Hey, it's good seeing you, man. See you next time. Looking forward to it.
Cool, man. All right.
Bye, everybody.
All right, that's a wrap.